Severance might be one of the greatest shows I've ever seen, and believe me, I've seen a lot of TV. The show follows Mark, the leader of a group of office workers whose memories have been surgically split between their professional and personal life. When a mysterious colleague appears outside of work, it triggers a journey to uncover the truth about their jobs and the reality of their existence. The show has quickly gained a cult following for its unique blend of genres and dark, unsettling themes. If you were to look at a still of the show, it would be easy to think that Severance was just another typical workplace drama. However, if you look a bit closer, you'll get a sense of the uncanny nature of the show. The equipment and the cars make it impossible to assign an exact date to the office. When is this thing set? And what is the reason behind all the bizarre events occurring? In this video, we will explore the theory that Severance is secretly about cannibalism, and we'll analyse the scenes that hint towards this cannibalism theme. It may seem like an outlandish claim at first, but we'll demonstrate how the show's creators have carefully woven this dark subtext into the fabric of the story. One of the most compelling hints at cannibalism in Severance is the suggestion that food is scarce or in short supply. Throughout the season, we see a number of clues that hint at this underlying issue. First, we have the strange dinner party that takes place in the first episode. During this scene, we see the characters sit down at a table with nothing but water, while they discuss the meaning of life and the role of food. This peculiar scene seems to suggest that food is either in short supply or completely absent, and that the characters are grappling with the existential implications of this reality. We see Outie Mark drinking a lot in the show, but very rarely is he shown eating. Another hint of food scarcity comes in the form of tokens that are allotted for snacks on the severed floor. While this may seem like a minor detail, it's actually quite significant in the context of the show's larger themes. The fact that even snacks are carefully rationed and controlled suggests that there might be a larger problem with food availability. Perhaps the characters are not even fully aware of it. It's also worth mentioning that the food incentives that are offered to good employees are not the kind of indulgent treats one might expect. Mostly fruit. And it's not exactly a waffle party if you only get a couple of waffles, is it? Perhaps the most overt clue about food scarcity comes in the form of the abandoned greenhouse, with an address that includes the numbers 4 and 9, two very important numbers in Keir Egan law. This greenhouse, which appears to have been used for growing food at some point, is now empty and unused, suggesting that something has gone wrong with the food production process. The fact that these numbers are significant in Keir Egan law also adds a sense of foreboding to the scene. Perhaps the problem that the people on the severed floor are trying to deal with is why food isn't growing successfully anymore. Another hint to this may lie in the license plates on the cars in the show. There is a Latin slogan on the license plates that reads this. This translates to cure for mankind. While this could be interpreted in a number of different ways, it is possible that this slogan is referring to the need for a cure to a larger problem, such as food shortage. I believe that in the world of Severance, food has simply stopped growing on planet Earth, and the purpose of the severed floor is to get people working on a solution for this problem without causing mass panic. By severing people, they are preventing whistleblowers from informing the world just how bad the food situation is. These various clues suggest that food scarcity is a significant issue in the world of Severance, which leads us on to the topic of cannibalism. I believe that because of the food problem, the characters in the show are resorting to cannibalism to survive. One of the more significant hints of cannibalism comes in the form of a rumour that is repeated by Bert. According to Bert, employees of microdata processing carry things in their pouches that then devour them. While this may seem like a strange and unrelated story, it takes on a weird tone in the context of the show's larger themes. It's possible that this rumour is a veiled reference to the idea of cannibalism, and that the employees of microdata processing are somehow involved in the process. Another hint of cannibalism comes in the form of a particular painting. In this painting, we see a man depicted eating a part of another man, while a battle rages on in the background. This disturbing image suggests that cannibalism may be more widespread than we initially realise. It could be so common in this world where things no longer grow that people are making art about it. If we focus on some of the words the characters use, it's easy to see how they can be referencing cannibalism. One such moment comes from Helly's father, who speaks about wanting her at his side when he revolves. This word choice is unusual and implies some kind of rebirth or recycling process, which could potentially involve the consumption of humans. It's almost as though he's convinced that once he's eaten as food, he'll be reborn. Lumen may have utilised some form of religion to delude people into allowing themselves to be used as food, with the promise of a great afterlife. If Helly's dad is aware of this process, and based on him saying it to her, it suggests that she knows about it as well, then it could explain why one of the first things that Helly says when she wakes up on the table in episode 1 is, "Have I been grown for food?" Another hint comes in the form of Dylan biting Milchek during a confrontation in the office. While this could simply be seen as an act of aggression, it takes on a more disturbing tone when viewed in the context of the show's other hints of cannibalism. The act of biting someone is reminiscent of a predator consuming its prey, so this action could be hinting at the hidden theme of cannibalism in the show. And of course, we can't forget Lumen's apology in the form of a free meal at Pip's. While this may seem like a benign gesture, it takes on a peculiar tone when viewed in context of the show's larger themes. The fact that Lumen is offering food as an apology implies that food may be scarce or a valuable commodity in this world, which could potentially lead to the practice of cannibalism. There's definitely a recurring theme with food. While it's never explicitly shown or discussed, the show's subtle hints at cannibalism add to the overall atmosphere of dread that you feel when you're watching the show. One possible interpretation of these hints at cannibalism is that they're meant to create an oppressive, dystopian atmosphere. The scarcity of food and the various references to bodily consumption could be seen as a way to emphasise the bleak and desolate nature of the world of Severance. While the world focuses on the ethics of the concept of severing people, Lumen are actually engaging in something far darker. What are they doing with those goats? Perhaps the ultimate aim is to consume the goats, but that's far in the future, given that they could be undergoing cloning or experimental procedures. It may not be safe to eat them just yet. That's why the guy said the goats aren't ready. But for the time being, I 100% believe that people are being consumed to deal with the food shortage. It's clear that the theme of cannibalism adds an extra layer of darkness and horror to Severance. The show is a masterful exploration of corporate culture, mental health, and the human condition. It plays with these themes in a way that's so unique that it's captured the imagination of everyone who's seen it. The hints of cannibalism are just one aspect of the show's complex narrative, but they are a crucial part. I believe Season 2 is going to delve further into the theme of cannibalism, and we will finally get a clearer definition of the phrase that is prevalent in the show. Lumen recycles.